Hello, and welcome to another episode of Critical Conversations. Listening to Pakatan Harapan leaders go on and on about the importance of the MOU they signed with Ismail Sabri's administration is akin to watching a drowning man desperately clutching at straws. The MOU signed last September was hailed as a breakthrough achievement for the nation. One opposition leader waxed eloquent about how it would transform parliamentary democracy in Malaysia and usher in a new era of responsible and accountable government. It was also hailed as putting the interests of the nation ahead of party politics as the nation was confronted with a deadly pandemic. In truth, it was nothing more than an expediency, a mutually beneficial arrangement to avoid a general election which neither side was ready to face. Ismail Sabri, the accidental prime minister, was in a vulnerable position. Isolated within his own party, he faced mounting pressure to call for early elections. Ismail Sabri needed allies to strengthen his position, and in exchange for support, he was willing to make several concessions, including an anti-hopping bill, which, as you know, hasn't seen the light of day thus far. Pakatan Harapan was desperate too. The collapse of their administration due to the treachery of Dr. Mahathir, Muhyiddin Yassin, and Azmin Ali took the wind out of their sails. It left them demoralized, rudderless, and struggling to regain control of the political narrative. Early elections would have wiped them out, and indeed, they did so poorly in Malacca and Johor, as you will remember. But things have changed dramatically now. The UMNO Supreme Council decision to unite behind Ismail Sabri, for whatever reason, and there are lots of speculations about that, is nevertheless a game changer. Ismail Sabri no longer needs the MOU with Pakatan Harapan to show up his position. Early elections are part of the deal he made with the court cluster, and he will not let the MOU stand in the way of his own ambition. UMNO is now resurgent and confident of victory. Pakatan Harapan, however, remains in a sorry state. Party leaders appear to have lost all confidence in defeating UMNO. They are divided, they are desperate, they have no clear, compelling, or captivating message. Gloom has set in. The Pakatan Harapan base is so demoralized that many might not even bother to turn up to vote. That's a terrible situation to be in. Leadership, or the lack of it, is a major handicap. The coalition's putative leader, Anwar Ibrahim, hasn't demonstrated the kind of leadership that will be needed, desperately needed to inspire voters and ensure a high voter turnout. He seems to waffle on key issues and like he's chasing after mirages. He says, for example, that he is not in any Big Ten discussion with non-BN parties like PPBM, PAS, and Pejuang. But in the same breath, he says he won't close the door to them either. Everybody knows he wants to be prime minister, but he says naming the candidate for PM is not a priority. That is called speaking out of both sides of your mouth. Does he think voters are stupid? And then there's that bizarre claim he keeps making about once having had a strong, formidable, and convincing majority. Indeed, he talked about it just a few days ago. No one really believes or cares about that anymore. And the more he talks about it, the more delusional he sounds. What we need is a leader who will quickly transform Pakatan Harapan into a strong, formidable, and convincing coalition. It's an uphill task, of course, but it's not impossible. There's still a large reservoir of Malaysians. I believe this. There's still a large reservoir of Malaysians ready to do battle for reformasi, who still see Pakatan Harapan as the repository of their hopes and aspirations for a better Malaysia. So here's my plea to the PKR president. If you insist on staying, at least fight the good fight. Quell the doubts. Unite the factions within Pakatan Harapan. Sound a clarion call to the nation. Reignite hope among voters for a better Malaysia. Be that man who once inspired a whole nation to fight for justice and reform. Time is running out for you, for Pakatan Harapan, and for Malaysia. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.